Good morning. It's Saturday. I'm in the office. You know what that means. The Saturday Morning Hustle podcast, outworking the competition while they still sleep. And in fact, today is the day. We're going to stop talking about it. You're going to do it. I'm going to talk about it. You're going to do it today. We're going to launch. We're going to begin. We're going to do the thing you've been putting off, the thing that's been on hold, the thing that you want to do for real that you haven't done yet because you didn't know how to get started. You were afraid you didn't have everything necessary. Whatever it is, I'm going to give you 2 good options and 1 great option for how to launch your business, your side hustle, your self-brand, your project, whatever it is, your next album, your next piece of art, whatever it is. If you're an artist, you want to get into NFTs. If you have a side hustle you want to build into your main business, if you want to start a side hustle so that you can quit your job, whatever it is, I'm going to give you 3 options. 2 good options, 1 great option on a way to launch this successfully, build correctly, and ultimately have a successful operation. So with that in mind, let's start right at the top. We have 2 good options, 1 great option. Option number 1, it's a good option. Spend time and effort, but very little money. This is especially true for side hustles or something you're adding to your repertoire of what you are already doing. Your time is currency. It's valuable to you, but time does not take cash out of your pocket. When it's a side hustle, when it's first thing in the morning, late at night, on the weekends, when there is extra time, bonus time, if you will, time you would be spending doing something entertaining, doing something with friends, wasting it away on video games or something else. And instead, you want to start a side hustle. You want to start a business that can replace your job. You want to add to what you're already doing. Maybe you have a day job and you want to do something at night. Spending your time launching correctly and then doing the steps in order to build audience, to attract attention, to retain that attention, to continue on to a sales process, eventual conversion, make your money, be profitable, essential to be profitable. All of that can come from putting extra time in. It's going to cost you very little money. You'll probably spend some money, but you can do it yourself if you're willing to put the work in, if you're willing to hustle and grind, if you're willing to forego the extras in life, if you're willing to downsize, if you're willing to skip the fun parts or skip things that aren't directly going into your day job or your side hustle and work on it. That time and effort, passion, dedication can build a side business or a new business that will allow you to quit the day job if you really work at it that hard. The Saturday morning hustle is a great example of this. It is on Saturday. I'm in the office in a time that I'm not expected to be in the office. It's a different situation. The phone's not ringing. Emails aren't hitting. People aren't dropping by. I don't have deadlines today. I don't have things on my calendar to achieve in the business today. So I can work on my side hustle, the Saturday Morning Hustle. So I can work on my podcast and my social media so that I can continually adjust how I set up the camera, how I work with the microphones, how I set up the backdrop, how I write my notes for an episode like this. All of that comes from effort. It comes from working, getting up early, staying up late, working on the weekend. Even on the weekend, you got to earn it. This is how we're doing this Saturday Morning Hustle, and then you can do the same thing as well. Whether it's a podcast, a video show, creating a social media account that you become an influencer, or a straight up business. If you have to do all your shipping on Saturday, if you have to do all of your logistics on Saturday, if you have to do your books, if you have to process orders, if you have to build the thing that is sold, if you have to write the course, if it's a digital, whatever it is, you can do it first thing in the morning, you can do it late at night, or you can do it on the weekend. You can put that extra effort into the product, into the process, into your systems, into your marketing, into your audience engagement, to your follow-up, customer service, etc. All the things that go into a business, you can do successfully if you will put a massive amount of effort in, if you will be extremely focused in it, dedicated and consistent to build patiently. It's another thing too. This is not the fast process. This is why this is a good piece of advice, not a great piece of advice. It's a good piece of advice because this is the slower version of a launch. This is the slower version of building your business or developing what it is you're trying to achieve. The slower way to do it is through effort, but less risk, considerable less risk, because there's less cost involved, there's less cash coming out of your pocket, and it doesn't take you away from your main source of income, the daily job, the 9 to 5, the other things you do in your life that are more consistent on the earning side of things. So you have flexibility, but you have to adapt. You have to slow down and be patient, but you can control how much effort you put into it. When it comes to economics, which we'll talk about in a minute, there's sometimes things that you can control and sometimes things you cannot control. Your effort, your dedication, your focus, your patience, all of this that I'm telling you right now, you have complete control over, and your attitude about them. And trust me, getting up on a Saturday or getting up early before you go to work on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, etc., with the right attitude is more productive than begrudgingly getting up and doing the thing that you have to do so that you can then go to that job that you have to do that you don't like either, or else you wouldn't be doing the side hustle. Do not approach it that way. Look at it as the opportunity you're creating for yourself with patience, with focus, with dedication, with effort, with all the things you can control. That's option 1. Slower, less risk, less that cash out of pocket. So option 2, of course, is the exact opposite. Throw money at it. Make it rain. Pay someone else to do it for you. Pay for marketing. Pay for a salesperson, for an accountant, for a bookkeeper, for an assistant, for someone to work in your business. You can pay for these things. This will speed up the process. This will make things happen. But you can't just throw money at stuff. You have to spend your money wisely and correctly, in the right order, for the right things with the biggest impacts in order for your business to get up and running in the correct way. So it takes money. You got to spend money to make money. You've heard that before, right? Option number 2 is to spend that money to make some money. But you have to start, number 1, with a budget. Create a budget. Understand the business model that you're setting up, how you make money when you make a sale, when you have a conversion, what your profit margin is, how much you can spend in order to make it. You can't spend $1.50 to make $1. You'll lose money. You can't spend $1.50 to make $1.50. Because even though you break even, ultimately one day you're not going to make that $1.50 and you're behind. You have to be profitable. You got to spend $1 or $1.50 to make $2 or $3 or $5 or $50. Profit margin is essential. Staying on a budget will allow you to not overspend so that you can make the correct return on your investment, so that you can stay within your means, so that you don't run out of money too soon, because it takes a while. And although you have to be patient when spending money, not as patient as option 1 when you're doing just effort, because you could speed the process along. You can prime it along by putting money behind it, by putting economic factors behind it. It's a little bit of rocket fuel for your efforts. You're still going to have to put effort in. You're still going to have to do the work. You're still going to have to be dedicated. You still have to be patient. You still have to be focused. But you can speed up the process by spending money to make money. Now, there's risk. When you spend this money, there's no guarantee it's going to work no matter what option it is you choose, which is correct for your business. It's going to be different every time. I can't tell you the first place to spend money, the second place to spend money. But I can tell you that if you have taken the time to build your business model, to understand the strategy, to understand your audience, to understand the opportunity you're trying to create or take advantage of, then you should understand the biggest impacts and the first places to spend money which will have the best return on investment. Once that begins, when cash flow is happening, when profitability happens, you can expand out on the things you could spend your money on to a point. That's where your budget comes back in. So you have to have a plan. You have to have a business model. You have to have a business strategy. You have to have marketing target. You have to understand your audience. You have to have a business plan, a marketing plan. You have to have all of this into place before you start spending money, or the money you're spending has the potential to be completely wasted. Now, when you waste your time, it's not good, but that time was free and it was yours to do with as you wish. When you waste money, it is a finite issue. You only have so much money in the bank, or you wouldn't be doing this. So you're trying to make money, not lose money. You may lose money up front in a short term if you have the plan in place, you understand the numbers you have to hit because you have a budget. If you have all of that in place, you understand how it works, you are spending your money as educated as you can, not willy-nilly, not random, not hoping it works, but a plan that should work and is measurable and can be adjusted. The things that work more, you do more of. The things that work less, you do less of, etc. Continue to make those adjustments until you fine-tune into something that is successful. That's how it's supposed to go. That's how it goes if you go into it with a plan. If you have a strategy, it's written down, you've crafted yourself a budget, you have a timeline, etc. If you have all of those things in place, if you've done that work, if you put that effort in, it's now time to spend money. You could spend money on employees to do it for you. You could spend money on third-party vendors. You can hire someone else to support what it is you're doing, or you can simply buy your way into attention. You can buy placement. You can buy attention online, traditional media, etc. Again, depending on what your business is, what your process is, who your audience is, etc. But you can buy your way in front of people if you're ready to sell to them. Don't spend money to gain attention for your product or service that you can't have a conversion on. If you're not ready to sell it, if there's not a deliverable, if there's not a way to execute at a profitable level, don't spend money to promote that. Don't spend money to build audience or gain attention. Instead, work on the logistics, the understanding, the hard part, so that when you do get someone's attention, whether it's social media, website, SEO, email marketing, traditional print, traditional billboards, events, public relations, however you gain people's attention, however they then want to come to your storefront, come to your website, go to your virtual location, click a link to download with a cost, of course. However you get that attention, you get them into the conversion process, you get someone to say, yes, I want to spend my money with him. You have to be able logistically to provide that product or service that you have advertised. So don't gain the attention until you're ready to execute on the attention. Once you're ready to execute, you can prime that potential for attention with money. You can spend your way into it to a point as long as it stays profitable. So that's another reason. Point 2 is a good piece of advice, not a great piece of advice. You could spend money, but money is finite. You must be prepared before you do so. So there's a lot of work to get you to that point. And there is risk. Every dollar you spend may or may not work. It may work completely. It may work partially. It may not work at all. You have to understand, have your systems in place so that you can make adjustments on what works and what doesn't. There is risk involved. There is a good amount of risk that every dollar you spend does nothing. That happens. Eventually you will run out of money. And the side hustle, the new business, the thing you're trying to create, that you're trying to launch here will ultimately fail. I'm hoping it doesn't for you, but that does happen. These are the realities of it. So I want you to understand that. There still is risk, less risk because of the things that we've done up to this point, because we understand our audience, we understand our business, we understand our competition, we understand our position. We can make our money work better for us. That money is the accelerator in the process. It cuts down on the time, it cuts down on the patience necessary, but there is still risk. If you've done your homework, if you've built your systems, if you've made a plan and you've created a budget, realistic ideas of outcomes, realistic goals, and you are willing to put the effort in, the work in to achieve them on the logistics side, on the fulfillment side, on actually giving the person who buys the thing they want. You've set expectations and you're ready to meet those expectations. If you've done all that work, then accelerating the attention and conversion process by paying for placement and other types of support will speed up that process. It will also allow you to see success quicker, which also can sometimes be very motivational for you as well. A little bit of early success can buy you a lot of patience and consistency as you continue to replicate that success in the future. That's option 2. Option 3, you should already know what I'm going to say, so I'm going to say it anyways. Do both. Put maximum effort in. Dedicate yourself. Do nothing but work on your side hustle, on your business, on your startup. Put yourself in it 100% and spend money on a budget. Accelerate the process once you're prepared. Do the work. Put the effort in. Be prepared. Make a plan. Craft a budget. Go to that. Put it into place. Pay for help. Execution, placement, etc. Spend your money on yourself. Invest in yourself. And do both. Work hard. Work smart. Put money where it's necessary, and that can be returned to you in profit. If you do that, the likelihood of this launch, of this side hustle, of this business, gaining traction, gaining attention, creating conversion opportunities, successful conversion, repeat business, profitability, all of that comes, the possibility for all of that to work successfully goes way, way, way up if you put maximum effort in and you put economic balance behind it. You can do both in order to have a successful business if you're capable. If you have money saved, if you have other income that's coming in, or you've cut your costs down, you've downsized other elements of your life that you can take those funds and put them forward as well. There's still risk. But if you want to go fast, if you want to go smart, if you want to go hard, and you really want to build something that can be successful, if you follow the process, if you follow your plan, if you stick to your strategy, if you do things in the right way, in the right order, the opportunity to be successful is there. Your patience doesn't have to be as far because you are accelerating the process. You still have to be consistent. You still have to pay attention. You still have to make adjustments. And the potential for success is there. Early success, again, will be rocket fuel for future success because you will understand how to replicate the small victories into bigger victories. So you have the opportunity to do both. So don't simply rely on effort. Don't rely on just throwing cash at something, but instead combine those two elements as much as possible in order to put the maximum effort forward, the best potential for success. Combine those efforts into max impact, speed up the process, continue to get return on investment, ROI, and of course my term, ROIA, the reality of it all. Pay attention, understand, make your adjustments, receive feedback because you're in the conversion and sales process, because you're delivering on those expectations you have met, delivering or not. Listen to the feedback. Are people happy with the process? Are they happy with the conversion? Are they happy with the sale? Are they happy with the product or service? Are they ordering more? Are they referring their friends? Or are they complaining? Are they telling you the things they like to do differently, see differently from it, or not communicating at all because they're unhappy in the process? Learn from that, receive that feedback, use it as motivation to either make improvements, continue the process, and the adjustments necessary to go on with patience, with focus, but with hustle and grind. Do what you got to do, spend what you need to spend, work within the system, be smart, work hard, and stick to the plan. Create profitability for yourself, repeat, and eventually you will grow. It's that simple. I wanted to tell you that within a short amount of time today so that you can understand whatever it is, that thing that you've been wanting to do, that you've been thinking about doing, that you have been holding off on, you felt that you weren't ready for. You can be ready.
Saturday morning hustle. Saturday morning hustle. Saturday morning hustle. Wake up and keep chasing your dreams.